and come. I don't know these things. Because he was not, he didn't know anything. So he said that news traveled to Nana Jan. Because that Ahmadi told my Nana Jan that, I got a bath farm filled from so and so. So I told him it. Mauli Muhammad Ijaz, about whom Rabbi Sahib also talks in the Ramadan Dars. So he said, he came to me and he said, have you done a bath? I said, yes. He said, why? I said, just to get rid of jinn. So he said, is mine. No, the jinn will totally go away if you learn the Holy Quran. So he said, I told him that I don't want to learn the Holy Quran because when I was a child, my mother sent me to the Maulvi and I questioned Surah Fatiha 1 or 2 points and Maulvi said that don't question because you will become Mu'tazila, you will always keep questioning in future and just read what I'm saying. And he said that from that day onward I never touched the Holy Quran. So I have a habit of questioning when somebody teaches me Quran. So he said, our Maulvi Muhammad Ijaz Nana said that okay, I make a promise that you keep questioning and question as many times and as much you like. I'll not go even a word forward. I'll explain everything in the Holy Quran that is there. So he said, about 6 months time, for the first time, I read the Holy Quran, Nazira. Then he started telling me by giving the commentary on the Holy Quran. So he said, when he reached this point, that the Isa, that is the Messiah, has not gone up physically, but he has died and he is buried. And the Imam of the age and the Messiah for this age is Hazrat Mirza Ghulam, who has come and whose death you have done. And for that to prove to me, he said he brought many tafasiri, Husseini, tafasiri, Jalali, there's Flana tafsir. He said 7, 8 type of tafsir, start reading. He also thinks this way, he also thinks, he also thinks. He said, my head used to be filled up with all these things. And sometime I would say, well, stop it, that's enough. He said, I was convinced that Masih, the Isa, Jesus, he did not go to the heaven physically. He died and he's buried. So that I was convinced. So he said, I wrote a letter to my father that I'm giving you a great tiding, a great news. That this is a glad tiding for you. That the Masih, that Jesus, that we believe Muslim that he is alive and sitting in the heaven on the right side of God is not true. He has in fact died and he's buried. So he said, my father, that is my father, he was an illiterate man, he didn't know anything. And he took that letter to one of the Maulvi in our village, in the mosque. He said, here is a letter from my son, and you read it to me. So when he read that letter, and so my grandfather, that is my father, he said, he asked the Maulvi, is he right to say that Jesus did not die? Jesus died, he's not in the heaven, in the sitting with the God Almighty. He said, naturally he was a Maulvi, he was not a Ahmadi. He said, no, he's wrong. So he said, my father told him, can you give me a written reply for this? Since he didn't have a reply because he could not refute any of my argument that I had given the letter, I quoted the Holy Quran, Tafsir. So he would just say, he has become a kafir, infidel. And we don't answer any of these infidels for anything. Kafir ka kya jawab? Leave him. He just had become an infidel and we can't give him an answer. So he said, my father went to another Maulvi, there were 2, 3 mosques. Then he went to a village across. Everybody gave the answer, well, he's become a kafir, and what can you give? What can you teach a kafir? Well, forget about him. He's no more, Muslim. So he said, my father became so, this thing, disturbed that he became seriously ill. So he said, my mother wrote to me, my father's mother, that your father is seriously ill and you come. So he said, I came from there after becoming an Ahmadi for the first time, came to the village, came to the house, and my father was absolutely, very sick. So I sat with him and I tried to explain to him, but he didn't know, his father didn't know anything about the Holy Quran either. But he said, no, 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 you better tell me why did you do that and leave that, and because I'm going to take you to the Maulvi. The moment I'm in a good health, I'm going to take to the Maulvi, and there to tell him that you don't believe in Mirza Ghulam, whatever his name. So he said after 4 days or so, my mother called me, my father's mother, and she said, look, I'm quietly telling you, your father last night told me that I'm going to take you to the Maulvi. If he refuses to accept what Maulvi is saying and he wants to remain as infidel, no, I'm going to carry my pistol and I'm going to kill him there. So I advise you to leave, because my father says that his mother knew about the father. And he said, leave. She said, the same very night I quietly slept and left, went to Quetta. So he says, when after a few days my father recovered from illness, so he packed up his luggage in a box and got a pistol in the box. And he said, I'm going to Quetta and I'm going to talk to him again. If he doesn't agree, I'm going to kill him. So with that intention, when he was about to leave, there was a prayer time. So he went to the mosque to pray. And a day before that prayer, his own brother, who was junior to him, he had quarreled with him on something, and he had beaten his brother badly. And that brother's son, Ghulam Ahmad, he was furious that this chap insulted my father and he beat him up. So he got a gun, and when my grandfather in the mosque was doing wuzu, at that time we shot him and killed him. So he could not go and kill my father because he was shot by somebody else. That is his own nephew. He shot him. And then my father got the message. He came home from there. And he said, everybody was scared because I had a bad reputation in the past. And they were thinking that he was going to kill Ghulam and all the family or something. But he said, I was a changed man. I didn't believe in those things anymore. But I did go to the court and I filed a case. And he says the father of Ghulam was, his name was Muhammad, was so influential that he knew all the magistrates, he knew everybody else. He sent Jirga people and asked me that we will pay anything. We'll give you a girl in return, we'll give you money. If you want some land, we'll give you some land. And just forget about it. And he said, I said, no, I don't need any of these things. But let the Lord decide. If the court says, well, he's acquitted, I have nothing to do. He said, even one of the magistrates that I didn't know, but he said, my uncle, that Muhammad, he knew him. He went to him and he said that magistrate called me. And when I was talking to him, and I said, well, you advise me, should I leave him just like that? Is that advisable? And Then during the conversation, that magistrate realized that I'm an Ahmadi. So he said, well, you know better. You better go and do what you like. And I'm glad that you didn't follow their line. He shook hands with me and then while leaving said, I'm an Ahmadi too. So he said, I lost that case because he was very influential and all that. But then again, he went back to quit.